They bring color and class to the catwalk, introducing new styles and trends. Internationally renowned Reem Acra, the passionate Zuha Murad, the unique looks of Carlos Miele, the elaborate Naeem Khan, and Bill Blass, the luxurious American label. Internationally renowned Lebanese fashion designer Reem Acra is known for her beautiful and luxurious bridal and formal gowns that have taken the world by storm. Now a designer to the stars, Acra began as an embroidery artist in New York. She received many prestigious awards while studying design in both Paris at the Esmond École de Mode of Design and New York at the Fashion Institute of Technology. She shot to fame and gained international recognition when she began her own bridal gown company in the mid-1990s. And with her opulent fabrics and intricate beadwork, she began making some of the most beautiful bridal gowns in the business. Her classic designs transformed the wedding gown using the finest silks, complex beading and delicate embroidery. Her collections now include daywear and evening gowns, which show her sense and passion for design, incorporating traditional and classic with modern styles for today's women.
The woman that loves luxury, the woman that knows how to lounge, that knows how to be a woman that's very confident, that's very well traveled, and that just loves fashion in a very classical way.
Acra's bridal, evening and ready-to-wear collections are now carried in many retailers around the world, including Bergdorf Goodman, Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue, as well as her own boutique. In 2007, her spring-summer collection in New York was all about fusion, as Acra mixed up her usual luxury evening gowns with glamorous daywear by incorporating favorite touches from her evening designs onto some of her traditional daytime pieces and vice versa. This technique was most obvious in outfits such as the metallic jersey tank paired with a floral silk jacquard skirt in moonstone and the gown with pockets. Earthy golden tones were given a chance to shine with her use of glazed linen satin and hand-dip dyed organza, georgettes and chiffons, and a couple of eye-catching outfits in red stood out from the natural hues. She brought luxe to New York in 2008 with her fall-winter collection with a palette that ran from purple to mustard gold. Dresses, skirts and jackets were adorned with feathers, sequins and glitter, and she explained that her collection was all about color. Fabrics used ranged from cashmere knits, felts and wool felts, and according to Acra, there's only one accessory these designs needed, and that's personal confidence. Recently, the designer was able to help celebrate the birthday of one of the world's biggest icons with an over-the-top runway show. And her muse and new starlet to dress was none other than the blonde queen of plastic herself, Barbie. Joined on the runway by other designers such as Vera Wang and Tommy Hilfiger, Acra designed an elegant red gown for the show and was delighted to get involved with the celebrations due to her love for the doll that she's had since she was a little girl.
Who would not dream of designing for Barbie? I got the call just not too long ago to design for Barbie, and I was so excited, like any woman would be.
However, this was not Acra's first venture with the famous doll. In 2007, she designed Barbie's bridal gown. But making the pint-sized dress was not a simple task, as it featured her signature stunning embroidery and beading, making this satin wedding gown as romantic and elegant as any other. Actresses Alexis Dezina and Michelle Kruzik donned Reem Acra gowns while attending film premieres, and house star Olivia Wilde looked graceful in her lavender gown. With her attention to detail, beaded embroideries and use of fabrics, Reem Acra has become one of the leading fashion designers for bridal and evening wear, with celebrities and brides all turning to her for that opulent design for that special occasion. one of several Lebanese designers to burst onto the scene in recent years with his opulent designs, Zuhair Murad is one to watch in fashion. Murad, who studied at the Chambre Syndicale de la Mode, first opened his studio in Beirut in the mid-1990s, and not long after that had successfully gained himself a very impressive reputation in the fashion scene all across the world. He now owns boutiques in both Beirut on Charles Helou Avenue and on Rue François Leur in Paris. His fashion line includes everything from ready-to-wear, accessories, eyewear and haute couture. He may be relatively new to the scene, but he's caused quite a sensation and become an icon to many fashion lovers from around the world. Murad described his passion for high fashion and revealed it was his love of colour and patterns that led him to pursue his dream. His collections over the last few years have really shown what he is capable of, using a myriad of colours and patterns to come up with some stunning designs. His sumptuous evening gowns ruled at the Spring-Summer 2007 Haute Couture show in Paris, as the Lebanese-born designer drew from 18th century heroine Josephine Bonaparte for influence. Dominated mostly by evening wear, Murad's beautifully realized creations were heavily beaded, with long, flowing, transparent trains following models as they sashayed down the runway with grace, in a color palette that consisted of gold, pinks, mushrooms, teals and beige. Pretty tied bows appeared on the front of many dresses, as long lengths of ribbon were left to fall loosely around the taffeta and silk gowns. Murad's final piece was a splendid bejeweled white wedding gown, dripping in antique lace and dainty frills. The iconic women of Hollywood cinema was the theme and inspiration for his haute couture collection a year later, as models burst onto the catwalk in a rainbow of colors, looking the part of Hollywood's most iconic ladies. Marilyn Monroe, Ava Gardner, Elizabeth Taylor, Audrey Hepburn and Grace Kelly were on the catwalk in spirit, as dress after red carpet Oscar-worthy dress made its way down the runway. For the show's finale, all the models were dressed in the same vivid shade of red, usually featured by designer Valentino. Murad's imagination created something a little different in early 2009, as he sent out a deep-sea seductress in sparkling metallics and strategically placed shells. The catwalk show was made up of endless evening gowns which, tight through the bust and torso, flared out into kicky mermaid tails. Warm tones of orange, beige and blue dominated, and pleated aqua-coloured silks undulated like water. The dresses were embroidered with chunks of real coral and bits of broken seashells, in addition to what seemed like tons of sequins and rhinestones. He gave his models clutches shaped like shells, and the perilously high platform heels were similarly embellished. As a rising star in the fashion scene, Murad has already dressed some of the biggest names in the film, television and music industries, such as teenage sensation Miley Cyrus, who owned the 2009 Academy Award red carpet in this gorgeous gown from his Spring 2009 Haute Couture collection, which adorned tiers of midnight blue beaded petals. Actress Kate Walsh attended the Emmys in a Murad gown, and country music and television personality Kelly Pickler and Carrie Underwood have also posed in his stunning designs. The curvaceous Beyoncé glammed up the New York City premiere of Cadillac Records in this plunging V-neck gown that clung to every curve and combined sheer fabrics, sequins and leather. His persistence, passion and creativity have seen his clothing land in some of the biggest retailers worldwide, and this could just be the beginning for this opulent designer who has seen his dream turn into a reality. Using influences from his Brazilian roots, fashion designer Carlos Miele has received worldwide praise with his handcrafted, luxurious designs. Born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, Miele has displayed many shows at New York Fashion Week, earning a brilliant reputation for his red carpet looks that can consist of plunging necklines, bright colors and clinging materials. His creations are fresh and unique and bring with them techniques that are not often seen in the fashion scene anymore. Now, with a number of stores located around the world, Miele, with his skilled craftsmanship, using techniques like patchwork, stitching and crochet, has set a theme of combining craft with luxury, which has since been seen on big-name fashion stars and celebrities. In 2004, Naomi Campbell made a rare runway appearance in New York on behalf of the Brazilian designer in a collection that included his standard array of bright colors, but also included more subdued pieces inspired by images of Valencia stone, often found in Spanish architecture. The vivid colors, as well as the body-tight silhouettes and the fluid movement of the dresses, were all an homage to Spanish art and music. 2004 was a popular year for the designer, as Christina Aguilera also chose to don a white Marilyn Monroe-style Carlos Miele strapless dress when she officiated the opening of the 2004 Harrods Summer Sale. In 2005, he took a turn for the more subdued with his Spring-Summer 2006 collection. Known for his dynamic use of color, this collection was quieter and, according to Miele, more sophisticated than previous, with many of the pieces coming in black and white. Before setting to work on this collection, Miele visited southern Spain, and the Moorish influence could be seen in the laser-cut silk Zeiblein dresses and crochet caplets in guipure lace. There were also punched suede coats and dresses, along with suede skirts embroidered in paillettes. Other dresses were rich in gold and beaded lace overlays. For his beautiful Fall 2006 line entitled The Fold, the collection was all about the modern, sexy and sophisticated woman. Again, using a color palette and designs that were inspired by his native Brazil, Miele's sexy designs were taken from the ocean and the Brazilian culture. Models strutted down the runway to beachy Brazilian beats in pleated dresses, skinny pants and cinched waistcoats, as fabrics ranged from iridescent taffeta to shantung, cashmere and silk, displaying clothing that was highly stylized and that came in an array of hemlines from knee length to floor length. From vaulted church ceilings to the feathers of tropical birds, the designer used his Spring-Summer 2007 collection to pull together wildly different patterns. Sexy, layered and flowing outfits appeared, and a warm, bright blue and soft red stood out amongst lighter shades, while key materials were linen and chiffon. Speaking before the runway show, Miele explained that he designs clothes for the body, for people who relate to the body, as an affirmation of the body. Unlike previous collections, Miele's Fall 2007 collection was influenced more by his personal experience, by his store in Paris, the Parisian scenery, and all the traveling he's been doing back and forth between Paris and New York. His designs included several bright and deeply colored dresses and tops inspired by the rain print, while the fabrics and textures came in a heady mix with lots of shine, finish and satin silk, crocodile mink and a generous sprinkling of drapes and touches of embroidery. With his opulent designs and passion for flamboyant, intense colors and patterns, this brilliant Brazilian designer is becoming a favorite all around the world. Relatively new to the fashion scene, designer Naeem Khan has sent shockwaves through the industry with his red carpet and opulent designed gowns. Born in India, Khan established his label not too long ago in 2003. And since his introduction, presenting his first collection at Olympus Fashion Week in 2005, he has quickly built up a loyal following, which includes some of the world's wealthiest people. His use of elaborate and intricate detailing was introduced to him at a young age by his father and grandfather, who themselves had established a reputation designing luxurious and sophisticated outfits for India's royalty and socialites. While still a teen and in the mid-1970s, he moved to the United States of America and started out as a textile designer and as a teenage apprentice for iconic American designer Halston. He worked there for 3 years, then moved on to Ryazi label, designing casual separates and cocktail dresses. And by 2003, he had launched his own Naeem Khan collection. In 2005, he presented his debut collection, which featured cocktail suits, embroidered kaftans and beautiful dresses, establishing his reputation for shiny, shimmering clothes. His label is now known for its use of beading, mirrors and specialty treatments that make it stand out from other labels. And even though it's a fairly young brand, it's carried in more than 100 stores throughout the world, including Neiman Marcus, Bergdorf Goodman and Saks Fifth Avenue. In 2007, Khan's runway sparkled with his usual repertoire of shiny silk, glistening paillettes, beads, and for this collection, Venetian hand-cut mirrored crystals. Several designs also featured Baroque-inspired patent leather appliques. The entire fall 2007 collection was comprised of glamorous dresses that he says were inspired by his work for the film Dreamgirls.
I was asked to do a scene in Dreamgirls, which is the finale of the movie, and it never left my mind. And it was about 2 months ago when the movie, I went to the premiere. It was just unbelievable, and that really drove my collection. So it's all about that, glamour, glamour, and more glamour.
The collection consisted of fabulous dresses made from a variety of fabrics, including Khan's own uniquely dyed and crinkled organza. Special mirror details adorned flirty shift dresses and looked absolutely stunning, as he drew from the 1960s for inspiration. For his spring 2008 collection, Khan blended 2 cultures, India and America, taking Indian luxury and combining it with American glamour. And again, this collection was all about glam dresses for glam women, with beading appearing on tribal patterns. Also attending Khan's show, and her first, was Queen Noor of Jordan, who supports his work, which has the potential to act as a bridge between desperate cultures. Khan's loyal fan base now features an all-star cast, from royalty and high-profile socialites to film and music megastars. Country singer Carrie Underwood turned up to the star-filled Kodak Theatre for Movies Rock for a mashup of music stars and classic cinema in a red Naeem Khan dress. While Eva Longoria took to the red carpet in 2008 for the Screen Actors Guild Awards in a Khan gown, and Anika Noni Rose, one of the stars of the award-winning musical Dreamgirls, posed at the 2007 Academy Awards in the sparkling Naeem Khan dress from his fall 2007 collection. With his detailed designs and luxurious gowns that are sophisticated and entrancing, Naeem Khan, in only a short amount of time, has become one of the big and flashy names in fashion and on the red carpet. Becoming synonymous with opulent clothing and sumptuous materials that can be worn day or night is the fashion label known around the world as Bill Blass. Founded by American fashion designer Bill Blass, the label is known for its well-cut clothing and a variety of patterns and textures. The company was originally Morris Rentner Limited, which Blass had joined in the late 1950s. However, he bought the company and renamed it Bill Blass Limited after already having a successful career designing men's and women's wear. 3 decades later, Blass had introduced more lines to his label and grew in popularity to receive many fashion awards for his clothing that could be worn anytime, as opposed to other designers that were considered more works of art. Blass, who passed in 2002, was known for his sophisticated, elegant and classic ladies' clothing that were worn by celebrity A-listers. However, designer Michael Volbrat continued the legacy in 2003 by becoming the head designer, and for spring 2005 showed a collection of brightly coloured cocktail dresses. This marked his third appearance at Fashion Week as the head designer of Blas and offered looks that would keep well-heeled women well-dressed for all their social events, in peak suits with grosgrain ribbon trim and flowing chiffon evening gowns that look like tie-dyed rainbows. His catwalk show also featured the up-and-coming model Gemma Ward.
I love it. I think it's a very, very chic and just sophisticated woman, and all of the silhouettes are really flattering, very flattering, and I just think it's very classic and chic. It's beautiful.
Wanting to rejuvenate the world with his fashion, Volbrat designed a collection with lots of reds, pinks and beige in silk and satin fabrics to enhance the feminine figure. A-line dresses were abundant, along with lots of strapless evening dresses, crisscross halter dresses and organza skirts. Volbrat created a timeless look for fall 2005 with lots of textured fabrics inspired by a trip to the Middle East in gold, bronze and maroon colours. The signature natural sophistication and style associated with the fashion house was reflected in the collection. Fabrics included cashmere, flannel and tweed, while pinstripes, paisley and beading were in abundance. The American design house made a smashing turnaround in 2006 for the 2007 Spring-Summer show as Volbrat integrated some newer trends into the line, but always keeping the traditional Bill Blass client in mind when designing. For this collection, he looked for ways to bring out the classic image connected with the label, and hot on the theme, the short hemline. From casual and flatty mini dresses to long jackets and short skirt suits, the theme remained above the knee, while evening wear was as elegant as ever. For a line which traditionally has been geared to the sophisticated lady with classic style, it has changed its tone slightly and, in addition to its traditional customers, garnered a new celebrity fan base. Patricia Clarkson was seen at the Oscars in a Bill Blass gown, while many actresses have appeared at film premieres looking graceful in Blass creations. Actress Eva Mendes has attended a number of film premieres and shone on the Arrival line, first in a cowl neck Bill Blass gown, and then only a couple of months later in a yellow strapless gown. Anne Hathaway, who took on the role of Agent 99 in Get Smart, attended her film premiere in a strapless Bill Blass dress, as did Katherine Heigl for the world premiere of her film 27 Dresses. With new designers taking ideas from the late great Bill Blass and keeping his tradition alive, the all-American brand has a delightfully strong line which blends new trends with the classic style Blass epitomized.